guys. Happy New Year 2014. We got January 1st here and 50% chance of snow. No accumulations speculated, and we got 2.5 inches of snow this morning. Of course, we don't have anything that's open this morning, so we're just going out and getting things cleaned up. They're saying 1 to 2 inches of snow today and 1 to 2 tonight, and then tomorrow, starting early morning, 2 to 4, and then 2 to 4 tomorrow night. So that's when our deep freeze is supposed to arrive. So we're gonna go out and get things cleaned up here so that you don't get any buildup going on. Didn't do a whole lot last night, just hung around the house. Missed the damn ball drop, so you know, so be it. I knew I was gonna have to work today, so kind of took it easy. Hope everybody was safe and had a good time last night doing whatever you do for New Year's. And yeah, we're just gonna go out and get some snow pushed around here, so I will I'll bring you guys back online here in a little bit. We'll catch you then. Give you guys a little snow plowing action here. I'll be kind of careful here this morning. There's a bit of traffic on the old roads. This is my wife's office here. We got two, it's on a corner, we got two entrances onto two main streets here. So I have to actually back into the road because it's uphill just a little bit to get in this parking lot. So sorry for the shaky cam, but that's the best I got, mounting that camera on the back of my passenger headrest. Most of my places aren't open today, but we are expecting more snow, so I'm going to go ahead and get these cleaned up. We got a rolled curb along the whole border of the parking lot. So I have to kind of pick the plow up and scrub it up over the edge of the curb there. The outside edge of it has nothing but parking blocks. So we try and stay well away from that because those are no fun. I've been hung up on those before. You'll see as I come around the other side of this parking lot that there's actually a pretty good slope to the parking lot too. And the other reason I plow it off, we used to have, you can probably see there, we used to have a church next door, but the church has since moved. And it used to be on holidays and Sundays, they would come over and their overflow parking would go into the parking lot, which isn't a problem. I mean, we don't care that they use the parking lot. The only problem with it is if it snows and we don't plow it, then they smash it all down, and then we have a giant ice skating rink. And we used to get away from, or we used to not plow it on those days just because we didn't use it. But the fact of the matter is, it's better to plow it off and let them track some salt in here. That way we don't have to salt it, and it doesn't turn into a giant skating rink. So these curbs can be nice, but they can also be a real pain in the ass because I have slopes coming down on this whole side of the parking lot. The other side's got a raised sidewalk that I have to lift up over. And I really never understood why the sidewalk was even there because it doesn't go to anything. But this side and the other street side, got parking blocks at the edge here. You just go till we touch them. There's not a lot I can do. I can't push up and over them. because there's a city sidewalk that runs along there. And that's a school over there. When school's in session, of course they're off for holiday break right now, but the parents all congregate over here and pick their kids up from school and drop them off too. So really can't block those sidewalks. That's a big no-no. We don't do the sidewalks here because you almost can't do them. We've only got about 10 feet of tree lawn on the wide side, and the other side only has about 2 foot. And as the city plow trucks go by, all of the slop goes up on the sidewalk and freezes. So we abide by the letter of the law. We try not to block those sidewalks, but the city does, and it's just impossible to clear them. This parking lot is all concrete and was put in around mid-60s. So it is old concrete, and we try not to salt it very often. But there's no wire or rebar in this parking lot. I thought there was. We had to replace one section, replaced one section that dropped pretty bad over the last couple of years. So figure 1960 to say 2012 or 13. That's 52 years. So that really ain't that bad. And when we pulled that section of concrete up, we had 10 inches of concrete. So this thing was poured real thick. So it was really done way overboard, but it's lasted. The asphalt parking lot is the same type, probably would never lasted so long. Right down here in this bottom, you can see we're starting to get at a little bit of an angle. I used to plow this when I only had one pickup with the plow on it. My dump had the other plow. I crab walked it down this hill and got hung up on those parking blocks down there. And of course, I windrow snow that way, so that's not fun. And most of these parking blocks are from the same era. So if you hit one of them with the snowplow, you'll turn it into confetti. I've replaced a couple of them that just were falling apart over the years. Now I don't really have a local source to buy them. We used to be able to buy them at the place I get all my routine supplies. I can go and pick one up for $50 and go ahead and change it out. But we can't get them anymore, so at least not locally. I don't know where I'd go to get one. So I just try to be real careful. But this section right here, it's on a slope, and then when I turn around to do the front of the parking lot, I have to back down into this area and push that uphill. I suppose I could push it downhill, but by the time I clear off enough snow to not push it downhill, it's not worth it. I'm going to go ahead and drag the snow in from this other entrance. It's just easier that way. The street doesn't meet the parking lot apron real squarely, so the other problem is if you drop the plow in the street and half of it isn't in the apron, you'll trip the plow over and eat the steering wheel. So I don't particularly care for that kind. Even though my wife's a dentist, I don't want to be getting extra dental work done because of something like that. I'll come back and shovel their front walk later on. Let's see where you guys are probably staring at the sky right now. But this gets really slick in here. The other night when it rained, and then we weren't really supposed to get any snow. We ended up with about 1.5 inches, 2 inches on top of it. This was absolutely terrible. So it's just a little little extra work to be careful in here, but it's not a real big parking lot. I mean, you guys are doing this real time with me. I started the camera after I made my first push in, so. And that is not mud up there, that's leaves off the trees that were in the corner of the parking lot. We didn't get up before the snow came down. Got 2 big honey locust trees here, and they dropped those real little leaves with the shoots on them. So even with the plow wings on this plow, we got almost 11 feet. We're still working with a little bit of overlap here from pass to pass, so I don't leave little pecker trails all over the place. This plow needs a new cutting edge, so it's leaving one right in the middle every once in a while, depends on the parking lot. The real flat ones aren't too bad, but ones like this work out okay. The asphalt ones, like the Velvethamma, don't do so well because they're washboarded up a little bit from, you know, traffic and things like that in general. And the plow will not pick up the snow from all those low spots. It just, you know, it's like putting a ruler over a hump. It's a straight edge. So just float over all those low spots. This parking lot is actually in pretty nice shape for its age. It's probably, well, it's hands down the nicest concrete parking lot I plow. So one more shove here and we'll head her up the road. Go get the funeral home done here real quick. I don't know how quick it's going to be. It'll probably take me an hour and a half to push it, but it's already 20 after 10 in the morning. Didn't get in any rush this morning. New Year's, usually people are not in a rush to go anywhere because nothing's open. It's about 22 degrees out. It's not too bad. The salt will still work pretty decent today. We'll let that one kind of do its thing though. I don't know if this light's going to change. There it goes. So I put this new set of wipers on the truck. I had Bosch icons on there, sort of flexible ones. And the old Ford Super Duty windshields have a spot in them, and the passenger wiper likes to miss it. It's usually right about here. So I changed the wipers. I had these on the shelf. These are AutoZone brand, sort of Bosch knockoffs, if you will. I don't know if there's a patent on those or what, but they're the same style blade, and they're not doing bad now, but when it gets a little bit colder, they're absolutely awful. They don't do near the job that the Bosches did, and they still have the same problem of missing that one chunk of windshield. So last month wasn't too bad for snow plowing. I'm getting ready to drop the bills in the old mailbox at the post office. I think we were out 11 or 12 times with about 8 or 9 snow plowings last month. Most of them were all 2 inches. We had 1 or 2, 3 or 4 inch snows, and that was it. Really didn't have anything too crazy. when I got slop on the roads like this, I keep the truck at four-wheel drive. But if I start to get some wet pavement, I run the truck in two-wheel drive. Going from job to job, it's just too hard on the old U-joints. One thing I sort of expect to see today is some cars left in parking lots for people visiting and going out and drinking and not wanting to drive, so they just leave their cars, or they have too much to drink and get a cab ride home, which, you know, I can complain about the cars being there, but being safe is, I guess, a lot more important. So I can bitch about having to plow around them, but I'd rather have that than the alternative. Videos last night. I think I really need to all get back up on the horse and start making some videos here, because videos are getting fewer and far between. I've been trying to do my part. I don't have enough work to do 2 or 3 a day right now, but 1 a day would probably be nice. A lot of guys missing in action. So this is all apron right here. I usually go through this funeral home. You guys have seen this before, but I usually try and go through and get all the entrances cleared out first, so I can stay away from the street, especially in the daytime like this. It won't be too bad today, but I don't like to pile a bunch of snow at the entrance here, because it creates a real visibility hazard over time when snow starts really getting piled up. I see one vehicle that's been a repeat offender that's been parking here a lot. That's really in my way. I know that one's not just left my truck here just because. That person, I think, is visiting family. There's actually a retirement community behind this building, and they like to use this parking lot because they've got an entrance through the gate over there and a little sidewalk where they can get into that community, which is not a huge problem, but we start getting a lot of cars there, it creates pain. Now I'm pushing all this snow to the center, and you'll see why here in a second. This one's parking lot's got square cut curbs all the way around it, which we never had before, but when they did their addition on the building about 10 years ago, they put these curbs in, and they look nice, but they really create a big pain in the ass when it comes to snow plowing, because they can't get the snow off onto the turf. And the turf areas aren't very big here to begin with, so that makes it even worse. The other bad thing about these damn curbs, they were poured on top of the asphalt, and they're not pinned into the asphalt. So if you hit one, you're breaking it off. So it was kind of a nice afterthought, but they're tough to work around. plowing snow up against the curbs because, first of all, it looks trashy when you start running out of room to put snow or you're in a hurry. A lot of times you really don't have a choice on how you do something. You just got to get the main parking lot clear. And again, we're going to go drag these entrances inward so that I can turn around and not have to back into the street. Oh, I know on my Western plow that's on the Duramax, it used to have a back drag edge on it which bolted behind the main cutting edge of the snowplow and faced at an angle backwards, and we ran those for a little bit and they worked okay. They never really cut the heavy packed snow, and that was always the big gripe. If you had a wet snow and you drove over it, you couldn't drag it off, or you'd pull into a driveway that was a straight shot to a garage door and you couldn't scrape it down to the pavement. So we had those on for quite a while, and then, I don't know, about 8-10 years ago, we had a real bad snowstorm, and I had a call to go plow a driveway that I'd never plowed before, and then the neighbor came out and wanted theirs plowed, and they told me, you know, hell, driveway's gravel. Well, I didn't know they had a concrete pad up against their garage door, and it's kind of a tricky driveway. It was on a weird angle, and the snow, we had about 18 or 20 inches of snow, and I pushed into this driveway and I was floating the plow up off the ground. Well, the little gap between those two cutting edges on the plow traps snow in it. Well, it also traps gravel in it too, and you can put two and two together and imagine what happened there. A little bit of gravel got packed in that little gap, and I scratched their concrete driveway, and the people threatened to sue me because I scratched their fucking driveway. Well, you told me your driveway was gravel, so I would have never thought anything like that would be an issue. So once the cutting edges wore out, we never replaced those back drag cutting edges for just that reason. They didn't work that good to begin with, and quite frankly, I don't need the headache. I'd rather deal with a little bit of snow that doesn't get scraped off. So I'm back dragging this down a little bit, and then I'll come under the portico up there and I'll push it down. It's just the inside of this little ramp here. I can't get it very easily. Once the truck starts turning, the plow sits far enough in front of it that I can't make any progress. So we're going to come in and swoop in between here, go right up against the building. I kind of have a method the way I do these, so I'm not doing cleanup constantly, going over the same stuff 2 and 3 times. I just work my way toward one end of the parking lot. As soon as I feel that plow drop off the end of the asphalt, I pick it up. That way we don't have any problems with it scuffing the lawn. Alright, now we'll go under the portico, and we'll push this snow down and down that ramp best we can. There used to be no curb over here and no flower bed, so we could come through here and I could push it right off the edge. I can't do that anymore. So it's really complicated things. This parking lot also used to be smaller, and there used to be a backyard here, and they ended up putting a really sizable addition on the building and adding a ton more parking, which is nice for patrons, you know, people visiting, but it's absolutely terrible for me because now I've got islands where I used to have wide open lawn to push snow. think that pushing snow is just going in and dropping a blade and driving around, and it's really not that simple. You really create more work for yourself and waste time. And in this game, time is your enemy. You want to get done quickly and safely. Work smarter, not harder, for sure. I've actually broken these curbs off before with the snowplowing, just rubbing up close to them, trying to clean them off, and there were ice packed up against it, and it just broke them right off down in that ramp I was just plowing. So they're really not all that strong. Nice thing about this Boss plow, it lifts fairly high, so I can get up and over these curbs. Some of the other plows don't lift as high, or if you have a truck that sits fairly low to the ground, and have a soft suspension like the Duramax, with the Western plow on that, it dips it quite a bit. And I even have timber and suspension helpers on the front of that truck, and it still dips down pretty good with the Western plow on. It's just a heavy plow. And then we have these little island areas here. I gotta drag the snow in. I don't really have much room to push it through. So I try and make myself as much room as possible. A lot of times I'll back into those openings where the doors are, but you can only get so close. I mean, it's certainly tight. I bet these people next door love me at 4 o'clock in the morning when I'm in here pushing the heavy snow and lugging this truck. And you guys can hear the exhaust clatter when I start this thing. It's loud. I've been looking into putting a muffler in it. There is no muffler in it at all currently, so she's loud. So many of these areas are so tight in here. It just makes a job that would be a quick and easy job a longer, more tedious job. Feel the truck jump around there. There's a catch basin that's got a strange angle around it. And pushing this area off in front of these doors doesn't always pick up all the snow. So, alright, well, I'll let you guys go. It's gonna get long. I'll bring you back a little bit later on. Alright guys, we're heading out to the shop at this point. It's about 12:30. Stopped snowing and really not in too bad a shape here. Stuff's pushing pretty good. I plowed a gravel driveway earlier, and that rain we had the any daylight on them, they're breaking loose halfway decent. Now this is my access driveway back to my shop. This is actually my buddy's shop in front of me here. We got an easement that goes through to get back to where my place is. So it'll be nice, and we'll do a push in. This is asphalt, but it's in real bad shape, so I just gotta kind of take it easy. I like it when it packs up with snow a little bit. I'm kind of curious why the hell there's footprints coming back here. I don't like that kind. Those footprints are going right along the edge of my parking lot. And I'm really hoping that none of them stop in front of my shop door, or we're going to have a problem. Those are not animal tracks. I don't see anything going to my shop door. Looks like somebody walked in front of this door, but that was about it. Get the little shop door and open here and make sure. Duramax is still in there. Thought maybe Andy came and grabbed the old Duramax to go plow his driveway or something, since I'm still running the Super Duty right now. Not the case though, huh? Yeah, those tracks go back through the woods. Actually, my neighbor lives back in the woods over there, so could have been him or one of his kids or something walking through here. Alright, not too concerned now. I did have somebody try and break in here a while ago, and tried to break into my man door and jacked it all out of shape, but they couldn't get the damn thing open. It was in pretty rough shape, so since then I've put a piece of plate steel in the door jamb for the deadbolt to go through, so even if you wanted to whopper the door away from the jamb, it ain't happening. You'll have to break the fucking door to get it open, or cut it with a torch, because it's a steel door, wood cord, but it won't open that easy. And it is keyed from both sides, so you're not going to just break the window out and extend your Spectre gadget arms and unlock it. It don't work that way. Might find out the hard way though. My whole parking lot in front of my shop door here is gravel, so they're just dragging that backwards. I've got a little bit of packed snow on it, but it's not firm enough to be getting aggressive trying to push across it. Now I'm just going to kind of float the blade along here. You guys have seen me do this before, because I just don't have a whole hell of a lot to talk about, so there's just nothing going on. Good news is, truck's running good. I still want to get a posi unit in the rear end of this truck, but I gotta save up some ducats to do that. I don't know if any of you have ever used one of these Boss V plows, but they've got two separate angle cylinders on the front, so it can do the V and the scoop and all that. And when you swing it from left to right to windrow snow. It's got a spring return on it, and the inside wing will always snap into place real quick, but the outside one is being pushed out, so it takes a few seconds to do it. It looks kind of goofy. And onto the ground. Here and fling this out in the gravel parking lot. Get my John Deere done and bring the skid steer inside because it's sitting right where the skid steer goes and it has no axle underneath it, so it ain't going anywhere anytime soon. But I've got a set of seals coming for it. Buddy Bronco Carl is going to hook me up, so we'll have some video of assembling that unit here probably later toward the weekend or maybe next week. For now, it's going to be snowplowing bits because that's all that I got time to do. So, alright, we'll catch you guys later and enjoy your day. Make a video.